it's called, you know, I had 6 boys.
Yep.
It's called Sextuplets, One at a Time.
Oh, cute. I like that.
And it's a comedy. Like
It
I'm
is?
trying to write with humor, and it's hard.
That's awesome.
It's
That's
hard
cool,
to write
man.
with humor
How
because
far are you into it?
365 typewritten
Nice.
pages. Yeah.
I did have that much till someone took it off my computer.
I wrote all that by hand, and then I typed it into a computer. Yeah.
That's insanity.
And it's I got about another 200 pages to go. Whether it ever gets published or not, it'll be the greatest love story of my life because it's
That's so cool. It'll get published. I'm published.
I'm published.
I'm published too. We're both published.
You know,
My dad's awesome.
But you know what? It's even if it stays in the family, you know, it's the greatest love story of my life. Those kids.
Exactly.
Whether I was a good mother, a bad mother, an in-between mother, they're my babies. They're my boys.
You were a mother. It doesn't matter. You were a mother.
Meant to be surrounded by men.
Okay, here it is. Right.
Dear God, yes, I'm talking to you. It's me, butterfly. Do you see what I'm going through? Please, please, I'm begging, pleading, surrendering it all. Are you there every time I fall? Are you the light that wakes me up in the early morn? If that's true and it is you, were you there when I was born? Dear God, am I here for a specific reason? Or only to learn from the pain and complete 10,000 seasons? Was I meant to be a mom? And if yes, why did I fail so damn bad? Was I even good enough or just broken in pieces and all they had? God, were you there when I took my very first drink? Were you there when war in my head made it hard to think? God, did you witness the very first time I was hurt? Did I cry or scream deep in my shirt? Were you there when clothes were ripped from my hands? When my body was trembling because of the man? God, were you there first time I smoked meth? God, are you listening? I'm scared to death. God, were you there when I started to heal? Were you there when I really started to feel? Whenever I gave the sky, I feel that bright flame in my eyes. It actually makes me fight for yours. Guess what I'm really trying to ask? Hey, is that you, God?
That'd be it.
When did you do that? That's amazing.
I wrote that.
Thank you, Mary.
2 weeks ago, I wrote it.
When did you write that?
About 2 weeks ago.
Well, that should be on a radio station.
Yeah.
I listen to a lot of music, and
That's what that guy said. He's like, that's really good.
I really like that. Mary, she's probably, has she heard it? Mary, did you like that?
She wants to buy a copy of oh, she wants to buy a copy of
She
your book,
wants to buy a
Nana.
copy of my
So cool.
Honey,
I
I
love
got to
Mary.
finish it first. I got about 200
You got to get in the box so you can tell your story, babe.
Very
Your story.
well. I really like. Who's singing that? Is that you singing that? No.
Yeah.
So why is it just there? Why aren't you doing something with it?
I don't know. Some guy wants to. He says, "Let me record that," and I'm like, "But I don't want to make sure. I want to make sure it's my song, so it's mine."
It is yours.
And,
Yeah. You want to
right.
protect that.
Right, exactly. So I got to go about how I do that.
I don't know. Am I going to see you on America's Got Talent?
No, honey, I'm not talented enough, but like that. But
Well, yeah. I don't know.
I'm a good writer, though. I tell you, I get that from my dad. It's all my dad.
Yeah. I love writing.
I know it doesn't. It's just a freeing to like write and release because I'm such a big one on that. Something's bothering you, write and release it. Write and release it, or share it, whatever.
I've been writing all my life. I love it. But I
Yep.
got to finish this book. And it's 20 years. 20 years.
Wow.
I put it down. I pick it up. I put it down.
So maybe you should put that 20-year thing in the title.
Huh?
You should put 20 years in the title somewhere.
Well, it's I don't know.
All right, Mary, you're up, baby. Hi, Cheryl.
Thanks for sharing that. That was beautiful.
You're welcome, honey.
I like that.
I'm honest about it.
Well, that's what makes the best music,
Yeah.
or the best reading. I think that's
Right.
why I like documentaries so much, is they're real.
You're not supposed to start that not inpatient, the IOP, intensive outpatient, it's partial hospitalization. It's 5 days a week, 6 hours a day. But with moving, I wanted to wait till I got moved and then start it.
You can do both.
I can't commit to that 5 days a week, 6 hours a day when I'm trying to move. There's no way. I'm not two people. I wish. Good morning, Lisa. All right, Mary, you're up, baby. Tell that story. This is how Mary started kidnapping kids legally.
Okay. Can you hear me good?
Yeah, really good.
Very
Okay.
nice. Yeah.
Okay. Many years ago, I was living, it was actually probably 30 years ago. I was living in Ocklawaha, Florida. And right down the street from my house was a bar/restaurant, beach, business that held up to 150 people capacity. And a family had brought in their little 5-year-old boy to the beach to teach him to swim because he had graduated kindergarten. And when the dad kept trying to teach the little boy to swim, he was scared to death, and the dad kept pushing the little boy underneath the water and getting madder and madder at him. And then finally, the dad got so upset with him, he just went and threw him up on the towel on the blanket with the mom and said, "That little effing brat can just stay right there until we get home and he can go to bed." The little boy started having a hard time breathing. And finally, the dad got mad because he thought the little boy was just being a brat and wanted his own way and wanted sympathy. So they took him home, and the mom told the dad that he needed to be seen by the doctor because he couldn't breathe. And he said, "No, you go put that little effing brat to bed."
Oh, no.
And so the mom did that, but then when she put him into his bedroom, she took off running out the front door, and she called 911. Unfortunately, it was too late. It had been about 9 hours since he had inhaled all the water in his lungs, and he had passed away
Oh, my God.
before anybody could save him. And there was 150 people on that beach.
Nothing.
Not one person stepped in. Not one person said a thing because it's not their business. It's not their child.
It doesn't matter.
And from that moment on, I don't care whose child it is. You're going to meet me and you're going to change things, or
Uh-huh.
I'm going to change things for
She's
you.
on Dr. Phil, you guys. You see your Dr. Phil episode. Yeah. She's
You know
nobody to
what?
fucking mess with.
You've been on Dr. Phil?
Yeah, she has. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll tell you that story.
Yeah. I love
My
her story.
My grandson, he was 9 years old. He's now 19. But he was 9 years old, and he kept telling me that his mom's boyfriend had a little girl, and that his mom and her boyfriend were both really mean to this little girl, and he wanted me to try to save her. And he says, you save all these other kids, Grandma, you could save Emma. And he kept, like, for 9 months, this kid would not leave me alone. He wanted me to build a fort out in the woods by his house so that he could be protected, so that he could protect her. And so I started thinking that every child has two parents, and where's her mother? So I went looking for her mom, and I found her in Vegas. And I called her off Facebook, and I said, do you have a little girl named Emma in Michigan? And she says, I have a little girl named Emma that was kidnapped from me 5 years ago. She's somewhere in Michigan, but I don't know where. And I said, do you got paperwork to prove that? And she said, yes, I do. And I said, okay, well, this is where I'm going to hang up with you. You're going to take pictures of all your proof, and you're going to send it to me. And if what you just told me is true, you just found your girl to bring your baby back home.
Oh my God.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
So she sent it to me, and she didn't have any money. She was 22 years old. So my husband and I bought her plane ticket from Vegas into Detroit, Michigan. I drove the 4.5 hours to go pick her up, brought her up to my house. And my whole county where I lived, nobody would honor her paperwork. Nobody would do anything. And not the court, not the state police, not the city police, not the county police. Nobody would do anything. And she couldn't file in Michigan because she didn't live in Michigan. You have to live there for 6 months and then in that county for 10 days before you can file.
Oh, I see. Okay.
So she couldn't file. She couldn't write. She couldn't do anything at the courthouse, and she couldn't get anybody to take her paperwork seriously. So I told her, I said, one thing I've learned is you have to cause an uproar. You got to get loud. You got to let the whole world know something's bad. So I found a girl that knew her
Mary's the one to do it.
I found a girl that knew her little girl really well. And we went strutting into the school.
Oh.
And I took the paperwork, went to the office, while the mom and another friend of mine went and found the little girl in the lunchroom. That little girl jumped right into her arms, was begging her not to leave her there. There was 2 teachers that just pulled her off from her mom.
Oh.
And then, of course, they called Dad, and he ran to pick her up, which I knew that he would do. Now, I told the mom, I said, now we just wait a few minutes, and then we'll go to the courthouse, because I know exactly where they're going. They're going to go file at the courthouse. So they went and filed at the courthouse. We waited outside, and as soon as they walked out, we walked in, and then we filed in that file, because she could respond to that file, but she couldn't start a file.
Okay.
So nevertheless, they had 3 court hearings in like 5 days. The judge from Vegas got on the phone. He had 3 lawyers, and he lost miserably. So
He went up against Mary. I mean, come on.
yeah, he calls me an evil monster.
Aw, that's a shame.
I'm an evil monster. But anyways, this little girl was so afraid because she didn't know her mom.
Oh.
So she was so scared. And as they were walking away to get onto the airplane, going through security, I thought to myself, oh my God, Mary, what have you done? This young girl is going to need so much help with this 6-year-old little girl. She had just turned 6. And so I just tried to think of what I could do. So when I got home, I emailed Dr. Phil.
Oh.
And then a few hours later, my phone rang, and it was that mom. Her name is Ashley in Vegas, and she's like, "Hey, girl, hey, how are you?" And she was just acting real weird, and I was like, "What's up?" She's like, "I did you a really great favor today." And I said, "You did? What was that?" She said, "You gave Dr. Phil my phone number, so I went ahead and gave him your phone number." And I'm like, "What?" I said, "I just emailed him a couple hours ago." Within 2 days, we were both in California being treated like royalty.
I'll show you a piece of it.
The Dr. Phil show.
Oh, I'd love to see that. I got to look this up.
Let's do it. Do it.
What's the title of it?
I believe my ex-boyfriend kidnapped our daughter and kept her hidden for 5 years.
Oh, wow.
Where is it?
She was young. She was 16. She didn't know. He just
Dr. Phil,
bullied
was
her.
he able to pull, his strings and get some help for the little one?
Well, actually, her people she knew in Vegas, they got the top child trauma counselor that did it all for free. That wasn't even through Dr. Phil. But Dr. Phil did try to get those two to co-parent, but he was never willing to co-parent, and he has never seen the daughter since. Well, when she left Michigan, he did see her at the court trial in Vegas. I went down there and testified against him. And she, of course, got everything, and he got nothing. And he only got phone contact. That was it.
Okay, I got it. Here we
That's
go.
quite a story, Mary.
Yep.
Phil.
Thank God for you.
Ex ran away with their child
I did not kidnap my daughter.
and kept her hidden for 5 years.
Do you punish this child by having her do squats?
Not squats. We call ups and downs.
She was forced to drink vinegar.
Because she lies, she wants to talk back.
I knew you were going. Hang on. Shit. Let me turn the light off. There we go. Oh shit. God, don't fall. I'm trying to charge at the same time. That's why. There we go. Okay.
Stand by. We'll count you down.
I'll try to be an emotional compass and point you in the right direction.
5, 4.
I am not giving up on you.
We're gonna be married.
I want you to meet Ashley and Robert. Now, you've heard this all too common story before. Girl meets boy. Girl gets pregnant. Boy and girl plan to live happily ever after. That is until girl claims boy cheats and girl and boy break up. In this case, Ashley and Robert drew up an agreement letter after their relationship ended and had it notarized. This letter states in regards to their child that in summary, Robert is allowed to take their daughter to the state of Michigan for the time being. Robert must keep in contact with Ashley and keep her informed about anything that happens with their daughter. With the agreement in place, Robert took their daughter, 1-year-old, and flew back to Michigan. And this is where the story takes a turn. Robert claims Ashley visited him and their daughter once in the past 5 years. But Ashley insists that Robert kidnapped their daughter by disappearing for 5 years and not revealing their whereabouts.
What happens if I turn my phone sideways? Would that work? Would you guys turn sideways or no? Nope, you sure wouldn't.
He had no intentions of letting me have my daughter back after high school.
Bad idea.
Kidnap my daughter. Ashley really didn't seem interested in our daughter at all.
Robbie always made it difficult for me to reach them.
This is all ridiculous. Ashley always knew where our daughter was. She just didn't seem to care.
I was a struggling student. I didn't have the means to get a lawyer or to be able to track Robert down. I felt angry and extremely worried for our daughter. Over the years, I filed court motion after court motion to have my daughter returned back into my life. Every time Robert would serve
On the other way.
respond, or he would just
What?
completely ignore
Turn the
them.
phone the other way. No.
This way?
What to do with them because
The other way around.
This way?
Robert
No,
told me
the other way.
and neither can
What?
our judge. Finally,
Up
after
and
Robert
down.
had my daughter
But
Where, Nana? I can't understand what you're saying.
to surrender
Just turn it up and upright, the phone, so we can see
Oh, the upright? Okay. Like that?
He is where?
Yes.
Okay.
My bad.
I don't recall walking in on anything.
Oh, wait, that's the wrong one.
The mother not remember.
Wait. Where'd it go?
Recall any of the sexual.
Dang it. Just lost it. Redo.
I'm still here. Just got out of the box. My sister is still sleeping.
Okay, honey, that's fine. Well, where'd it go?
That's a wonderful thing, Mary, that you did. That is
She's
an
amazing. She's an amazing person. I'm blessed to find her in life, I tell you that. I know I won't go. Okay, so okay, we'll start over. All right. Mary.
Mary, do you hear from the mom at all?
Here we go.
Today on Dr. Phil, she claims her ex ran
So we're
away
gonna go
with
up a
her
little
child.
bit right into right for this.
Today,
Is a safe place to talk.
Oh God, no.
Intentions of letting me have my daughter back.
God dang it! How'd Gabby get in there? Oh my God. Okay.
Oh, that's wonderful, Mary. That's great.
Mary kept booting me. Here we go. Okay.
today on Dr. Phil,
I'm
she
ready to go.
claims her ex ran away with their child
I did not kidnap my daughter.
and kept her hidden for 5 years.
Do you punish this child by having her do squats?
Not squats. We call ups and downs.
She was forced to drink vinegar.
Because she lies, she wants to talk back.
You want to sit up in here and claim abuse, huh? You're taking her from a home that the only people she's ever known.
You guys are all that she knows because he took her and he ran.
Yeah, exactly.
Let's do it.
Show everybody. Here we go.
This is a safe place to talk about hard things.
Stand by. We'll count you down.
Are you still with your sister, Mary?
Point you in the right direction.
5, 4.
In the chat. Shut it down.
I want you to meet Ashley and Robert. Now, you've heard this all too common story before. Girl meets boy. Girl gets pregnant. Boy and girl plan to live happily ever after. That is until girl claims boy cheats and girl and boy break up. In this case, Ashley and Robert drew up an agreement letter after their relationship ended and had it notarized. This letter states in regards to their child that, in summary, Robert is allowed to take their daughter to the state of Michigan
I said, are you still with your sister,
for
honey?
the time being. Robert must keep in contact with Ashley and keep her informed about anything that happens with their daughter. With the agreement in place, Robert took
Okay, good,
their daughter, 1-year-old, and flew back to Michigan. And this is where the story takes a turn. Robert claims Ashley visited him and their daughter once in the past 5 years. But Ashley insists that Robert kidnapped their daughter by disappearing for 5 years and not revealing
I'd be
their
livid. I
whereabouts.
would be livid.
Robert kidnapped our daughter. A few months after having our daughter, Robert stated to me that he had no intentions of letting me have my daughter back after high school.
I did not kidnap my daughter. Ashley really didn't seem interested in our daughter at all.
Robbie always made it difficult for me to reach him.
This is all completely ridiculous. Ashley always knew where our daughter was. She just didn't seem to care.
I was a struggling student. I didn't have the means to get a lawyer or to be able to track Robert down. I felt angry and extremely worried for our daughter. Over the years, I filed court motion after court motion to have my daughter returned back into my life. Every time Robert was served with court papers, he wouldn't respond or he would just completely ignore them.
Sometimes I'd receive documents and I wouldn't know what to do with them because they were from another state.
Robert told me, "You can't make me come, and neither can your judge." Finally, after Robert had had our daughter for 3 years, Robert was ordered by the courts to surrender our daughter back to my custody. I didn't have the money to bring her home, so she remained with Robert. I had no clue what to do.
Until
The plot thickened when a stranger reached out to Ashley. A stranger. Her name is Mary, and she's connected to, of all people, Robert's current girlfriend, Kim. Robert says this woman is just evil
Oh yeah.
and
Okay.
has a huge vendetta
Oh, good.
against him.
Good God.
A few months ago, I was contacted by a lady named Mary. She found me through social media. Mary explained to me that Robert and his living girlfriend, Kim, were horrible parents. She told me that when our daughter did something wrong, she was forced to drink vinegar by the glass until she threw up. She was forced to do squats. She was hit. Our daughter was living in an extremely abusive situation.
All of Mary's accusations are lies. My daughter is
Mary
not
don't lie,
going
so
through
shut the fuck
stuff.
up.
I feel helpless. I feel guilty. Like, I should have been there to protect her more. I flew to the Midwest to have my daughter return home with me.
I got a call from my daughter's school saying that Ashley was there to pick her up and take her with her. I was very upset. We had 3 court dates, and my lawyers fought to have my daughter stay with me.
I was awarded temporary custody of our daughter.
My daughter has been hurt from my life.
Finally, after fighting for 5 years, I was able to bring our daughter back home. I feel like the nightmare of trying to get custody of my
That'd
daughter
be hard though, you
is
know, that's all she knew was the
finally
other
over.
parent.
Okay, now you two have this daughter, and she was born on what day?
January 20th of 2010.
Okay, January 20, 2010. And then in January of 11, you take her to Michigan
Yes, sir.
from,
Nevada.
okay, long way away. Okay, and you're okay with this.
Yeah, it was only supposed to be for a temporary time.
And so you make this agreement.
Yes.
You guys write this out. I'm guessing you didn't have a lawyer involved
No, we did not.
because the agreement between the two of you was pretty imprecise.
Yeah.
But you interpreted that agreement to be, even though it said temporary, that you could just go and not ever come back.
No, that's not what I did. That's
Yeah.
That's what you did.
That's what I did, but that's because
Well,
she
you didn't think you were breaking the law, though, is my point.
No, I did not.
So you didn't think you were kidnapping your daughter.
No. She's known where I lived.
I'm trying to help you here.
Yeah.
You interpreted that to say you could go and never come back. But it says, I, Ashley, allow Robert to take our daughter to the state of Michigan for the time being. Now, I'm not a lawyer. I don't mean to brag, but I'm not. But I spent a lot of time in the litigation arena, and I looked this up, and I couldn't find anywhere that there's a definition of the term for the time being.
Right.
It didn't say 3 to 6 months, a year, 5 years, 10 years. There was no definition of that. What did that mean to you when you signed that agreement?
I was still in high school at the time. I was starting my junior year soon, so he was supposed to have her for my junior year. I would get her for my summer, and then give her back my senior year so I could finish high school, and I was supposed to get her when I graduated.
Why didn't you write that down?
I unfortunately trusted her father.
Assumption?
She was a
It
kid.
was an assumption. We specifically said that. I would have never, ever let you leave with her if I thought you weren't going to return her. Ever. You took the fact that I was so young and I trusted you because you were the father of our daughter, and you just up and skipped. You ran, and now you don't want to, you want to say you had no clue about anything, which is a lie.
She's been gone 5 years.
Yes.
And it is a distance from Michigan to Nevada, but it's not like another planet. In 5 years, you went one time?
That was the one time that I could afford it.
Did you call her?
Yes.
How often did you talk to her?
I talked to her sometimes often, and sometimes she would take my phone conversations away from me.
Because she would call inconsistently, go 3, 4 weeks, month, 2 months with no contact.
Well, what right do you have to take conversations away?
Because of the fact I was dealing with my daughter at night.
Why is it your daughter?
Right.
Isn't it?
Our daughter. She would call it so inconsistently that it was disturbing and emotionally affecting her.
So then I
in school,
couldn't talk
in
to her at all.
life.
So yeah, why take it away from
I wonder if
her
it was
totally?
disturbing her that you loaded her up and...
Yes, she's always wanted her mom.
But you reacted to the inconsistency of the phone calls, but not the fact that you loaded her up and just took her away, never to see her mother again for 5 years.
Actually, she's always had the option to come up there and visit, and I've pushed that since the time we went to Michigan.
But realistically, financially, was that, courts often restrict a parent from moving a child outside a reasonable radius for the other parent to have access. But of course, y'all didn't go through the courts until now, and the court has made a different ruling. Did you return the child for the summer after her junior year as you had agreed?
No, I didn't agree to that.
That was an agreement?
No.
What did you interpret for the time being to be?
I don't really have an interpretation of it because I never really understood it. She was coming there to live with me, and I don't want our daughter to be raised in the city. I live in a small town. It's a good community.
It's not up to
You
you.
made that decision
It's
unilaterally.
not up to you.
You just said, I got this paper. That means I can take my daughter and go where I want to as long as I want to be there. That was your interpretation?
Yeah, because she had no interest. That's why she let me take her, was because she wanted to finish her schooling and she wanted to be a teenager and she wanted to do what she wanted to do.
I worked my butt off to do what I wanted to do for our daughter. I put myself through school and busted my butt so she could have a parent who had a high school education.
But what he's just told you is that his intention was to do exactly what he did. He just said, yes, when I left, I didn't want to be in the city. I wanted to take her and go and live in a small town, in a small community. And you didn't have any intention of bringing her back when you left, right? You didn't think you had to.
I didn't.
It's not that you
I
were
had
breaking
no
the law
intention.
in your mind, but your intention was to go and stay gone.
Yeah, and her have appropriate visitation and whatever. And
That's not what we agreed on.
Did you ever take her back one time in 5 years? Did you ever take her back to see her mother
No.
one time?
Hi,
No,
Mimi.
one time in 5 years did you ever take her back? Ashley credits a kind stranger named Mary for helping her regain physical custody of her daughter. But while Ashley calls Mary kind, Robert calls her vindictive and evil.
Let me kick your
So
ass,
how
Robert.
does she even fit into all this? We'll talk to her next.
I gotta see Mary.
I kick Robert's ass.
About a year ago, my grandson told me about the abuse that was going on in the house. I could hear them upstairs yelling and screaming.
Mary is a pathological liar. Mary is a monster.
He's a very angry guy. I'm not going to keep quiet.
Nope, she's not.
Later,
Have you looked into the best interest of your daughter?
Yes, I have. She's doing
Have you
absolutely
really?
great.
Taking her from a home that
That
the only
abusive
people she's
her?
ever known.
You guys are all that she knows is because he took her and he ran. My daughter has now been home with me for about 2 weeks.
When I talk to my daughter on the phone, she asks when I'm coming to get her. It absolutely breaks my heart.
I understand that it's going to be an extreme transition, but
Has it ever?
it's going to greatly improve her life.
What hurts me is my daughter doesn't know her mother or the people whom she's living with. She's living with virtual strangers.
That's true.
that
too.
was Robert,
That's
the
your
father
fault.
who says his 6-year-old daughter was pulled out of his Michigan home
That's totally
by
his
the court
fault.
system to go live with her mother, Ashley, in Nevada. Now, Ashley claims Robert had kidnapped their daughter and kept her hidden for 5 years. Robert vehemently denies this allegation. He also says his daughter would still be in his care if a meddling woman named Mary had not intervened.
You meddling Mary,
I
you.
feel so badly for Ashley's daughter. My grandson
That
lives in the
meddling
house
Mary.
with his mom and Robert. About a year ago, my grandson told me about the abuse that was going on in the house. One time I was dropping off my grandson at the house and I could hear them upstairs yelling and screaming. To me, it sounded like a war zone.
Mary is a pathological liar. Mary is a horrible person. Mary is a monster.
Robert doesn't like Mary because she's sticking up for our daughter and it's making his life horrible.
Yep.
Mary has made my life a living hell.
Good.
Mary's constantly calling Child Protective Services. She's accused us of beating and neglecting our children, and it's
Well,
ridiculous.
Didn't do that.
To Mary to cause so much drama.
Thanks, you guys. You didn't tell me I left her down on my chin. I can't stand being with
I
you.
have done nothing wrong.
He's a very angry guy. He thinks he's above the law. He
I'm
doesn't
done with all
feel
you
like
people.
He should have any accountability for any of his actions.
Mary definitely feels like she needs to save the world and get in everyone's business.
I'm
Good.
going to keep quiet, and I'm going to continue to expose what's going on in that house.
Mary needs to mind her own business and get her own life.
She's got a life.
Now, Ashley and Robert dated in 2009, got pregnant 2 or 3 months later and gave birth 9 months later, and then broke up approximately a year and a half later. Now, Robert has been dating Kim for almost 2 years, and they live together. Now, Mary is the grandmother of Kim's son.
Wow.
So that
Yeah.
helps you to see that visually. So you have a connection.
So, of
because
course she's
you
gonna
have
get
a
involved.
grandchild
Right.
Yes, sir.
Has moved in
currently
5 years.
residing
Damn
in
straight.
his home.
Yes.
Now, Kim is not out here now because,
Because she got a PPO on me trying to shut me up.
Yeah.
and that's a personal protection order.
Yes.
For stalking and harassing.
And the order which I've written
Good. I'm glad she's talked and harassed.
says that you are prohibited.
Yeah, her grandson's
from
lived with her
stalking
ever since.
harassing her. You cannot call her. You cannot interact with her. You cannot contact her. And while we're not a party to that, we do respect court orders. So we can't have her out here, or at least I won't have her out here, because that would be in violation of a court order.
Right.
And I'm not going to do that. So I'm going to talk to her, but to do that, I'm going to have to take you off, bring her on. I'm going to talk to you again. I got to take her off, bring you back
Right.
on, because she has an order of protection. What did you do that caused a court to see need to restrain you from her?
They give out personal protection orders pretty fast and easy. At the end of July 2015, I took my grandson and dropped him off. And I heard upstairs yelling from downstairs in my vehicle. I could hear screaming and yelling. It was horrible. I thought that Kim was yelling at my grandson. I stood out on the sidewalk and I told her to leave him alone. He's just a kid. Leave him alone. I'm tired of it. Quit. Leave him alone. And I was screaming it. Kimberly came downstairs and said, "You stupid," and called me a fistful of names and said, "I'm screaming at Robbie's stupid ass."
Outside screaming at the house.
Screaming at the house. Up
For
to the,
her screaming inside the house.
Right. I thought she was after my grandson.
And you have told her that
Mary, quit screaming at houses.
you've been told that her child wakes up, and if she's crying, that Kimberly slaps the child.
She slapped her in the face.
You said that her daughter
2015.
doesn't even have a room there.
No, she has no bedroom.
That
They have a 3-bedroom
She
apartment.
sleeps behind a chair.
Mary, you house screamer.
Maintained 2 houses while we've been together. She has hers
That
and
is
I
not
had mine.
true.
Wait, I thought you never lived at Kimmy's place. That's what you told the Michigan court. You said you never lived with Kimmy. And then you told the
And then you
Nevada
told
court.
CPS that
that
you
you-
used to live with Kimmy, but you don't anymore.
And then you told the
We've
Nevada
lived
court that
together on
you
and off,
lived.
but we've always maintained our own houses.
you do that for
So-
CPS reasons.
Hold on.
She doesn't
All these
stay in.
CPS calls over the last 10 years between you and Kimmy, what has ever
I've
come?
called twice.
That's,
What has ever come of it?
yeah.
Nothing. And
Exactly.
that's on the side of CPS. That
They're
is on the
there to
side
do
of
a job.
CPS. They are not.
Do you and Kim punish this child by having the child do squats?
Not squats, but like we call ups and downs at home.
My
What's an
husband
up and
watched
down?
it.
You get down on your knees and go up and down for lying, and
You can make her do squats as a punishment because
4 and
she's like
5
a
years
normal
old.
child. You take away her things. Sometimes they don't
So
take
up and downs are. Can you show me what you're talking about? I don't know what you're
Yeah.
talking about.
you go like this, and you go.
And how many of these do you?
For like 2 or 3 minutes.
Oh my God, that's a lot. That's long.
And has she had to drink vinegar?
Teaspoon of apple cider.
Wait, you
God.
CPS Michigan, it's a tablespoon. What's
Teaspoon, whatever, spoon. Let's get out of your drawer.
It's actually good for you.
Take vinegar.
Yeah,
And the purpose of that is
because she lies and she wants to talk back.
okay. We're going to meet.
She's a little girl. That's what they do.
Mother Kim. So I'm going to take a break. I'm going to excuse Mary for a minute, ask Kim to come back out, and then we'll talk again. Okay.
Okay.
We'll take a break.
He holds his chairs down. Wow.
I don't want Kim anywhere near my daughter. Robert's daughter should be living.
He thought he wasn't allowed to.
I know nothing about
That's
her.
sad.
She has pretty much been an absentee parent.
Now that I have my daughter, Robert will go to any extent to keep her from me. Robert told our daughter that all of this is my fault, that I was trying to kidnap her, and that anything we say is not true. Our daughter covers her ears because she doesn't want to hear anything bad about her father. I've tried my best to not bash her father, but I also feel like I have a right to defend myself about the lies that her father is telling her.
Ooh, I don't know if I bring her in to that.
Ashley, who says she was finally reunited with her 6-year-old daughter after her ex-boyfriend Robert, in her words, kidnapped their child and kept her hidden for the past 5 years. I understand Robert denies kidnapping their child. He's not been charged with kidnapping their child, and says Ashley didn't want anything to do with their daughter until she started hearing false stories of abuse from a woman named Mary. I talked to Mary during the last segment, but I had to send her backstage during the break to honor a protective order filed by Kim against Mary, alleging that she was stalking and harassing her. Kim claims Mary, who is her son's grandmother, has repeatedly called the police and Child Protective Services
Good.
with phony abuse charges.
Nope.
Having Robert's daughter taken out of our lives is beyond horrible. Ripping her from a home and from her school and her family and friends wasn't fair to her. We all feel terrible.
Kim's been a wonderful mother figure to my daughter.
Oh, God.
She's asked me multiple times if she could call me mom.
Kim is
Dr. Phil, a teen mom and dad.
Why did y'all have unprotected sex? It's hard for me to believe that you both got stupid on the same night.
They're concerned parents.
There's no structure, there's no boundaries.
are not capable of being.
That's the wrong one.
What, Mama? Or what, Nana?
It's the wrong one.
What? No, it ain't.
Yeah, it was.
Baby, each side
Wait.
thinks they know
Oh,
best.
God, it is. What happened to Where'd it go? Oh, my God, are you
What's
kidding
the
me?
title of it? And I can watch it on my TV.
Are you? But the people in here probably want to watch it. They've already been watching it. Let me find it quick here.
Go to your history, Mary says.
Go to my in. Oh yeah, duh. In YouTube. That's right. My
So,
history.
Mary, what's the title of it? So
There
I
we
can
go.
watch it?
So right here.
Daughter.
She's asked me multiple times if she could call me mom.
Yep, here we go.
A horrible role model for my daughter and is dangerous to her well-being.
Good job,
I don't
Mary.
want Kim anywhere near my daughter.
Robert's daughter should be living with us.
Who is that?
not
Cypher?
Ashley.
Nope, not coming in. No.
Ashley knows nothing about her
No.
own daughter. She has pretty much been an absentee parent.
Kim needs to understand the gravity of the situation and stop getting herself involved in things that she doesn't belong in. I've tried to work with him, and he just wanted no part of it
Now he wants her all to himself.
and wants me to just
Disappear.
Mary has been telling Ashley things that aren't true. I blame my son's grandmother, Mary, for all of this. She has made my life a living nightmare.
I'd blame Mary too. Go, Mary.
That I abuse my kids. It's
Leave
all
my ex-boyfriend.
She knows that I know the
kidnapped
truth,
her
and she wants to silence me.
One time Mary called CPS.
daughter.
Yeah, that's no right. You're right, Cheryl. That's
to
right.
Drink a cup of vinegar. We weren't. That's not the case. We do use a teaspoon of vinegar for discipline in our home, but vinegar is actually good for your body.
the fact that she abused my daughter greatly angers me.
If Ashley had concerns, Ashley should have come to us. Mary's trying to ruin the family I have with Robert.
I take full credit. That's my girl. Yep, she sure does.
Mary. Even with the restraining order, Mary still harasses me through social media. I want Mary to get out of my life.
Mary, get out of her life, would you?
Kim, welcome. This is a situation that involves a minor child, of course, and she has been with the two of you for how long? How long have the two of you been together?
About 2 years.
And she's been out of your life now for just a matter of weeks.
2 weeks today.
Uh-huh. And how do you feel about that?
Well, I think it's very unfair
And what was unfair about it?
showing up at her school.
To get paperwork so I could do the transfer.
That's not what you were there for, Ashley.
Really? Then what was I there for, Kim? Were you there? No, you weren't.
Actually, I showed up right
after the
afterwards.
fact.
And your daughter told us exactly what you and Mary said to her.
What did we say?
That you were there to take her. When she came running to my arms, it was, Kimmy,
Really?
my mom is
She-
here to take me.
It took two teachers while she was crying to pull her off of me
No.
because she didn't want to go with
Because
you
she
guys.
didn't even recognize you, Ashley.
Really? Oh, funny. Were you there to see that?
Oh, what happened?
I just brand new.
Oh my God, this phone's dying. Hang
You
on.
know everything?
Shit.
You must, because you want to sit up in here and claim
Hang the
abuse,
fuck
huh?
on. I thought it was plugged in.
The school principal
Hang on.
actually wrote a letter about this.
Shit.
Girl is 15 now.
It's gonna die. Hang
The
on.
school
Oh my
principal
God, it's
actually
gonna
wrote
die.
a letter about this incident. He
There
said,
are no charges that have been.
Mary,
There we go.
Ashley,
Oof.
and another person entered our cafeteria without checking into the office, which concerned us. Mary was
I'm so mad
carrying
at that.
court papers and asked to see the principal. Robert was called and he stated that his daughter should not be leaving school with this woman and that he would come to school immediately. While waiting for Robert to come to school, we called the sheriff's department to send in an officer. At this point, the police took over this issue. Dad took his daughter home for the remainder of the day. So you went to the school with proper documentation, correct? Mary did ask to see the principal.
Yes, she did. I walked out of the into the cafeteria to go say hi to her because I didn't know I was allowed to. Another female that was with us went ahead and went in, so I went to go see her. I got brand new glasses on December 30th of this last year. She has rarely seen me in them. Right when I took those glasses off, she jumped up, said mommy, and jumped in my arms. Of course, you weren't there to see that, were you?
I didn't have to be.
Okay, so you think that was unfair and inappropriate?
Very much so.
You knew there was a hearing and didn't show up.
Yes.
Why would you not show up to protect your rights
Exactly.
to your daughter?
I had lost track of the days and I was out of town working.
Do you think it was fair or appropriate for you to ignore the court proceedings and the
shit.
court hearings in 2012?
I did not.
And moving forward?
I did not comply. I was at work the
Hang on.
hearing of 2012.
Hang on.
So, therefore, Michigan declined jurisdiction. And had she have thought about it,
You were aware of the hearing, though.
That day could have had an ex parte order to get her. She could have filed that, and they would have said, take her, go get her. She waited until 2014 to go and get an order.
I waited.
And then, 3 weeks ago, showed up at our daughter's school to take her with that order from 2 years ago.
Did you know at the time that she could have taken her that day?
No, I did not.
Okay, so you didn't know it either.
No.
But you knew there was a hearing.
Yes.
And you just decided not to go?
No, I was out of town working.
Wow.
Oh my God, I got therapy at 7. Don't let me.
Had it have been me and I was in her shoes and just stated a declined jurisdiction, I would have been there filing for custody that day. And if she cares, like she said, she would have been there. Well, I got jurisdiction. Now I want my daughter.
You don't have jurisdiction. Can you
I
not
said if
read?
I was in your shoes.
Yeah, well, obviously neither one of you have a great legal background here, but you knew there was a hearing and didn't show up.
Yes.
You didn't show up.
Because
for
if
any
you're a
reason.
concerned father, why would you not show up to protect
Right.
your rights to your daughter?
Well,
I mean, to me, that seems either reckless or arrogant to say they're down there holding a hearing about my rights to my daughter.
We're watching Straw
I'm
tonight.
working, I just won't show up.
I had lost track of the days and I was out of town
my
working.
God.
I mean, what am I?
She was
You
an
said you
excuse.
knew there was a hearing that day.
Dr. Phil, I don't think he realized the severity of the paperwork. He is
Well, he
at blame
knows it
for
now.
not doing that
Yeah.
paperwork, for not.
But you know it now because,
there's no doubt
you've
that I
thrown
should have
those
done
dates
it.
off. The court has just said,
Oh my God.
okay, you don't want to participate. We'll just enter a default judgment. She gets the child. Here she is. She's gone.
Well, but now you're to the point where the courts have failed to do their job. In Michigan and in Nevada, they have what you call the 12 best interest factors of the child. They have not once considered what was in her best interest.
So
you don't just
drinking
walk into
vinegar
being
and doing
you don't just
ups
walk
and
into
downs
being
are
a
best for her
parent of a
interest?
6-year-old.
Have you looked into the best interest of your daughter?
Yes, I have. She's doing
Have you
absolutely
really? Because
great.
taking her from a home that
That
the only
abuses
people she's
her?
ever known abuse Ashley.
The
really?
only reason she's ever
Stop
known.
listening to Mary. That's
The
what you
only
need to do.
reason
She's a
you guys
manipulator.
are all that she knows is 'cause
Mary the master manipulator.
that's the only reason
You
that
take
she-
her and run. You've
Really?
known where they were. To this
How many
day.
different addresses has he had? How many different numbers has he had?
Well, I'm
He's
not
had the same phone number
you
for
know,
the last 3.5 years that
I'm
I know
not sure
of.
what difference the answer to that question makes. In
Mary's a master
2014, the court
manipulator.
entered an order. It said it is further ordered temporarily that parties shall have joint legal custody. It is further ordered temporarily that the plaintiff shall have primary physical custody. It is further ordered defendant shall have supervised visitation. It is further ordered defendant shall surrender the minor to the plaintiff within 48 hours of service of this order. It is further ordered if defendant fails to surrender the minor, law enforcement shall assist in the recovery of the minor. It is further ordered effective 2/1/14, defendant shall pay child support in the amount of $100 a month. So in 2014, this child was awarded to her. Mm-hmm. And she neglected to come and get her.
Because I have my pockets full of money because I filed how many courts, how many.
So you're saying that they just showed up and took the child? She's had the right to that child since
And I made you well
February
aware of
14. All right, Robert and Kim say they're already questioning some of the decisions Ashley has been making in the short time since she has gained temporary physical custody of her daughter.
Mary's a controlling master manipulator.
Come back, and I'm going to start putting some thought into this whole thing. We'll be right back.
Poor Mary. Thank you.
I love my Mary. I love my Mary. I love her to pieces.
You are transparently behaving as though you don't want that child back.
Ooh.
Mary's very controlling.
In my eyes, Mary is an amazing, wonderful, helpful person.
Yeah.
Ashley did whatever Mary told her to do. I'm not controlling Ashley. I'm not telling her what to do or what to say. Ashley stated to the courts that she came here because she believed her daughter was being abused. Ashley doesn't know that firsthand. She heard everything from Mary.
Mary's a lifesaver. She's helped me so
I agree.
much, and I couldn't be more grateful for someone to go so out of their way to help someone that she doesn't even know.
I want Ashley to know that she shouldn't believe whatever this crazy woman has told her.
You crazy motherfucking woman.
Let me ask you a question, and I want you to really take a beat before you answer this. My question for you is, in your heart of hearts, do you prefer that this child not return to y'all's relationship?
Oh boy.
Absolutely not.
Ah, you're way too long to answer that one.
Their daughter and our home.
Because you are transparently behaving as though you don't want that child back.
Dr. Phil, I am so frustrated with this whole situation. The fact that Mary was able to call Ashley and just make all these crazy false allegations against
I
us.
know, Mary, that
Ashley
big
to
fat
just beat
liar.
them, and to not even call Robert and ask him anything about it.
When's the first time you called me and asked my side of the story? Of never.
Oh, your guys' stuff on Facebook.
Oh, I saw your stuff too, bashing me. You,
That's
him,
fine.
Let me
and
Do squats, yeah. No shit.
let me tell you why I say what I'm saying. You blew the court off, right? Yes. And you wish now that you didn't. Oh, most definitely. But you did, and I don't know whether you did it out of arrogance or ignorance, but you blew them off. By mistake. Had I have known that the outcome was going to be what it was, I wouldn't have. Yeah, because you didn't have co-parent in your vocabulary.
I know, it's funny,
You got
right?
your ass kicked down the courthouse steps. Then all of a sudden, let's talk co-parent. And now the court has chewed you up one side and down the other, taken this child, put it with the biological mother 1,000 miles away, and they have a predisposed notion of you thumbing your nose at them.
Yeah.
So that means whatever you're going to do to broker a role in this child's life is most likely going to be done on a private basis. It's going to be where adults start to behave like adults rather than children. And they come together. They come together and they put the child's interest ahead of everything else. But you instead come in to the one that, whether like it or not, has the big stick right now. But yet you come out here with 3 snaps and a neck wag telling her how, by God, things are going to be. And let me just tell you, you can do that till the cows come home, but that's a good way.
Butterfly, can you turn it just a little
That
bit?
child out of the home,
Right here, babe?
because the best
Yeah.
way for you
Okay. Is that good? Okay.
to
Yes.
get this child back in your life and have a relationship with this child is for the 2 of you parents to sit down and say, okay, listen, we're both dumb, immature, inexperienced,
It's obvious.
and have made some really bad mistakes. But you know what? Let's hit the reset button and let's see what we can do to start this over.
And guess what? He never contacts her again.
She was making it.
Then why did she come to me saying, Daddy said this is all your fault?
You were not a real passionate, engaged mom. You were not really looking out for the best interest of this child. You say you want to look at the 12 factors. One of the first things I look at is parent alienation.
Mm-hmm.
And when you don't make efforts to maintain a relationship with that child's other parent, that bothers me. When that child is being handed off to that parent because of the court's ruling, which you brought on yourself by thumbing your nose at them, and you sit there with that child and say, I didn't want this. This is being made to happen because she went to court and she's the one that's making you go with her, et cetera, et cetera. And
I never told our daughter that
Well-
she was making her. I told her that the courts were making me.
Then why did she come to me saying, Daddy said this is all your fault? Saying that
let me tell you,
I
you
was
both have
kidnapping
a
her.
whole lot of sin here on both sides of this deal. And look, I'm about unification of families. For this little girl to grow up without her daddy in her life would be a tragedy.
Yeah.
She needs to learn to value herself. She needs to have her daddy in her family to teach her about boys and teach her to value herself and her body and her self-worth and her self-esteem. She needs to know that her daddy puts her here and holds her high. So in just a very few years, when some hairy-legged boy's blowing in her ear and saying, I love you and I want you to do what I want you to do, she can say, well, you know what? I already got a man in my life that loves me. I don't need you blowing in my ear. I got a daddy that loves me. So I don't need you. I don't need you, and you're not going to make my body a playground for your entertainment. So tell it walking, bucko. That's what a young girl gets when she's got a daddy that's steady and loves her. I don't want her cheated out of that. I want you in her life. But to do that, you need to grow up, mature up, and figure out what you need to do to broker a peace here. And you need to be a good steward of this conservatorship you have, because if you're not doing what you need to get her daddy in her life, then you're doing the same thing that he was doing when he had control. And you would be just as guilty as he was, and then you're sitting over there telling her, well, you know, you don't know this, and you're getting on there writing stuff on Facebook. I've read the stuff. And you're painting her with Mary's brush. I don't know Mary from Adam. I don't know.
Wow.
She certainly has a horse in this race. She's got a vendetta. Here, there's no question about it. I said she's got a conflict here. But this isn't Mary. This is this child's mother.
2 years
And
clean.
if Mary is everything you say, if she's manipulative, then you should have compassion for her. That
Oh, I
she's
do.
being manipulative. You should not be
do.
painting her with Mary's brush, but you can be right, and you can just go 0 to bitch in 2 seconds every time you see her. You go 0 to bitch in 2 seconds every time you see her. But then the child's in the middle. That
Yep.
doesn't help anybody. You two should become best friends with the common denominator of this little girl.
Yeah.
You know, if she doesn't want him back.
I don't have to worry about that.
Yeah, that's not the issue. All right,
No.
we're going to talk to Mary once again without Kim present, so I can figure out why she feels like she needs to be involved in this custody case.
Because there's drama.
Maybe she did a service, but maybe it's time for her now to move on. We'll be right back.
Back the fuck off, Mary.
I think you may have been a spark plug that created some movement in this situation for her.
Absolutely.
And having been that agent of change, I recommend that you let me take over as an
That's
agent of change.
exactly
now.
why I contacted
Yeah.
you.
The two of you, I think, are in serious need of some co-parenting instruction. What you're doing with a 6-year-old in terms of these up and down drills and the
Not
vinegar
cool.
and that sort of thing, that would be classified as abusive.
Thank you.
I'm going to recommend that the two of you participate in a co-parenting plan together. And since you're remote, one of the services that I can provide to you, it's through a company that my son and I founded called Doctor on Demand. If you've got a smartphone or a computer in any way, you can log on for either medical or psychological services. In a matter of seconds, you can be in front of a board certified doctor that can
Wow. Yeah,
meet your
imagine that.
needs. And you can be remote here and be 1,000 miles apart, and you can be talking to the same therapist that can work with you on a co-parenting plan and talk about, one of the things you'll talk about is, here's what we can agree on discipline-wise. Here's what we can agree on educationally, spiritually, all of these things, and then work out a way that this child can have both of you in their lives in a meaningful way. And then you can come to an agreement, and then you both respect that agreement. Will you participate in this professional help and mediation if I provide it to you?
Yes, I'll go.
Yeah. You don't even have to go. The therapist's going to pop right up in front of you. You're going to be right there. Okay? And will you participate in this? And let's put the girl's interest ahead of everybody else's. This is part
Let's give Mary a fucking award.
All right, I want to thank all of my guests today. If
There
you
you go.
want to have your own Doctor on Demand,
There you go.
or iTunes App Store.
sad.
and
All right, guys, I gotta get ready.
On Demand.
Gonna eat some breakfast and get ready for therapy.
In 2023, Ashley offered Robert supervised visits through me, and he refused. Oh my God.
And he never saw her. Isn't that terrible?
2023,
That poor little girl.
she's fine. She's probably just fine.
Yep, yeah, probably.
Her mom went and went to college.
Yeah, put herself through college. Yep.
Oh, Mary, I'm sorry.
Mary, you deserve an award, honey. That's what you deserve.
No kidding.
You really do, for what you do. Save those babies. That's why Lori jumped out of the box so quick that night. Look, Mary says about her kids. I'm going to come get your kids, too. Lori did not like that.
I don't know what Lori's like.
I don't know, but for her to sit and cut down Villain, she needs to stop. Villain's beautiful.
What I've been out of the loop. That's a
She
good
calls her
question.
fat. She just calls her nasty names. I go, Lori, that's really about you. It ain't about fucking Villain. Villain's beautiful, so you just can't say that. She's so jealous. You know, like she was so jealous of me. Now she's on Villain.
What did she say about Villain? What? I don't know. Haven't been paying attention.
Mary made Lori so mad. So Lori, she wasn't blocked. So anyway, she came in my live. She got in the box, And everything was fine till Mary said something about her kids. Come take your kids too. Oh, what happened to Mary's grandson? He moved in with her.
Yeah.
He's been with her for 5 years. Yep. So that badass Mary that nobody loves, her grandson moved in with her. She's awesome. She also adopted her niece's baby and raised her.
No.
Mary's a good
Special
person.
woman. Special woman.
And people don't like her. If they don't like her, it's for reasons, because she does what she does. For what she does. Kim, come, please. She did. And that's Kim's son, are you saying, Mary? Your grandson? Oh, boy. And she's the one that had the order against you. For which one do you shut up? A gag order. Yeah, right. Oh my God! Wow. Okay, so I just got it actually. To be honest with you, I didn't know she was your grandson's mom.
Yeah.
Oh, you definitely had a horse.